Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you this morning? It's Pamela, live in Nassau, Bahamas. How are you? Today, it's my pleasure to be here live on Busker. I tried to do a dual broadcast on both Busker and Fire Talk, but it's not working. So here I am on Busker. Happy to be here, broadcasting today from Nassau in the Bahamas. As this is my first time on Busker, I invite you to give hearts, show some love. I'm not familiar with all of the features, but you can also share it out, tell a friend, invite them in, and you do that by sliding your screen to the right, and up at the top left corner, you can invite followers to come and join the broadcast. Welcome, welcome. I see I have with me one viewer. Welcome. You are very special to me this morning. Thank you for being my first viewer. Today I want to discuss aromatherapy with you. I have a company, I'm Pamela, by the way. I have a company called O Natural Aromatherapy, there it is. And my specialty is essential oils. I grew up with a keen sense of smell, if I might say that, and the love for aromatherapy and essential oils evolved over the years. Particularly during a time when a relative was sick. Well, my mom, she eventually passed of stomach cancer, but I wished that I had known then what I know now, because I would have implemented some of the therapies for her. So to get started, I want to give you a brief introduction or chat about aromatherapy and how it got started, and then how I got to the point that I'm at now. Well, aromatherapy, as I may have said, it is a holistic therapy, and it accounts for the whole body, mind, body, and soul. So it treats the entire person. Anyone seeking aromatherapy as a form of treatment will find that not only are they physically receiving treatment or getting health or improvements, they will also find that you're mentally focused, your thought processes are clearer, you feel more relaxed, so it's affecting mind, body, soul. The first person to coin the phrase aromatherapy was a French man by the name of Rene Maurice Gottefeuille, and he's the one known for coining the phrase. In French, actually, it was aromatherapy it was spelled differently, and of course with the accent over to E. So he was a scientist, by the way, who was working in a lab one day, and he happened to burn himself. Yeah, he got a pretty bad burn. They didn't say whether it was the hand or wherever. I think it was the hand. And the first thing he did, there was a flask or some sort of a container holding some essential oils, lavender by chance. And he realized that the burn was so bad that had he not done something right away, he would be terribly scarred. So by putting his hand into this flask of essential oils, lavender essential oil to be specific, he discovered that his burn healed so well, there was no scarring, and eureka, he had a new treatment for burns. And today it is still used throughout the world. Throughout the world, they're using lavender for burn treatment. Well, the story of aromatherapy has been around for thousands of years, 5,000 or more years. In places like India, Greece, Rome, and the Middle Ages, there are lots of stories about how they used aromatherapy. So let's start with the Indians. And you know, India is famous for its spices, its medicines, and in particular, India has been known for the Ayurvedic. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm gonna mess up on this pronunciation. Ayurvedic medicines. So this includes plants and extracts used to make medicines. So India is very famous for that. And you know, of course, their spices. India is one of the top places in the world to go for spices. Then there's Greece. Greece used aromatherapy, essential oils, to make their perfumes. And it was known to do stuff such as reducing inflammation, reducing pain, and just to make you smell good and feel good. That's what the persons in Greece used it for. Then there were the Romans. The Romans used aromatherapy for perfumes as well. Yeah, perfumes. And they also used it for spices. And in the Middle Ages, now, this was something that they did way back then. They used, in the monastery, they grew their herbs and their plants, and especially the aromatic plants such as lavender, for therapeutic properties. They too were aware of the importance and the benefits of using these natural plant extracts. So I found in my studies, going back as far as the 14th century now, that frankincense and pine were burned in the streets. So if you look back at some of those old movies and old pictures, I don't know if you noticed that sometimes there'd be trash bins with burning trash on the side of the roads and on the street. Sometimes that was done for medicinal purpose, and to keep away germs and to clear the air. So they used stuff like frankincense and pine, and they burnt them on the streets. So as you know, frankincense has very strong medicinal properties, and it's used in the treatment of cancer for natural therapies, not in the traditional medicines, but in the case of natural therapies. It's also used by holistic health practitioners for the treatment of cancer. And there was a movie recently called The Truth About Cancer. It's still up, actually. It's on YouTube. The Truth About Cancer actually documents cases of persons who have been treated with frankincense, who have been, and I'm going to use the word, I know they don't like for you to use the word in traditional medicines, but persons have been healed of cancer using frankincense. I can recall one particular case where a young lady had a brain tumor, and this is just frankincense with clean eating and natural therapies. They used a drop of frankincense daily on this patient who had been diagnosed with a brain tumor toward the back of her head. They put a drop of the frankincense oil under the tongue daily, and the doctors were astounded to find that her tumor shrunk, and she's been a cancer survivor for years now. It's going on 10 years. And this is all documented in the movie The Truth About Cancer. And there's like a 10 episode movie. They broke it up because it's so long, and it's documenting several patients' treatment with holistic health therapies, including aromatherapy. So be sure to check that out. The Truth About Cancer, it's on YouTube. So, with that being said, do I have any questions? I don't, my friend, do you have any questions? No? Okay, so I'll move right along. Feel free to give me some hearts. You can give hearts on Busker as well, like they do on Periscope. And I want to talk to you a bit about research and clinical trials. Now, here is a big question mark in the industry, okay? There have been so many persons either healed or treated with cancer that whoa, sorry about that, phone rang. Can I call you back, please?
Yeah, sure.
So anyways, started to say there's been so many persons who have been involved with research and clinical trials, but one of the things that they're finding, and it's coming out, that there's so much more research and monies being placed when it comes to clinical trials and testing of traditional meds, the pill or this therapy or treatment that is along the lines of the traditional medicine. When it comes to holistic health, natural therapies, natural treatments, the amount of money that goes into that is considerably less. And as a result, the word and the marketing and the commercials that you see on television are mainly geared towards traditional medicines. Because I'm sure if you think of it right now, or even if you turned on your television today, you will find that there is a commercial for some pharmaceutical product that you see in the general store, the pharmacy, this over-the-counter medicine, but you won't see an ad there for an essential oil or any byproduct thereof. And there are loads of them. You know, there's stuff that are really good for you that really affect persons suffering from almost any ailment on the spectrum. Okay, so I am one of those persons who am doing my part to get the word out, to let persons know that there are alternatives. If you go to the doctor today and he tells you, oh, that bee sting, oh, you need to take a pill for that and you need this ointment or it won't be healed, don't believe him. Don't believe him. I can give you an example. A few months ago, I went out to an event in the evening and had a great time, lovely time. When I got home and looked in the mirror, I felt something. But when I looked in the mirror, there was a big old welt growing on my chin. So something stung me while I was out. I felt nothing. I saw nothing. But when I got home, it started to sting and swell. And I mean swell. Okay, so what did I do? Grab some lavender, put a little base oil mixture like coconut or almond oil or olive oil. I don't remember which one I got, but I got it. And I rubbed it on my chin. Yes, my chin. And within an hour, the sting had gone away. The pain, or less, Then the swelling, which I mean it was a welt, it went away by morning. I took a photo and I shared it with a friend, and they said, well, this stuff really works. And I said, oh yes it does. So that was my proof right there. The proof is in the pudding. It works. Essential oils really do work. No questions? Okay. So I wanted then to move on to tell you a bit about how we get these oils and why some oils are more expensive than others. Okay, so here it is. I have a bottle of pine forest oil. It comes from the pine tree. Okay, I have a bottle of patchouli, which is like an orange. It is an orange. And I have a bottle of jasmine, which is not at my side, but it's here. All three of those are essential oils, but there's a distinct difference that affects price, that affects the quantity that you can find any time of the year, and in some cases it may also affect packaging. Okay, these oils evaporate quickly, so you have to package them in dark bottles. That's one thing. Bottles should usually be a dark brown or a blue, a dark blue, to prevent exposure to light. But each one of those oils that I mentioned is extracted by a different method. And that affects, like I said, the cost. There's steam distillation. And when the steam distillation process is done, the oil rises to the top, and at the bottom is water. So they call that water aromatic water. The oil, of course, is the jewel. So they take that off the top, and that's given a specific price. But then there's the water, that aromatic water that you don't want to throw away, because you could use that in perfumes, or you could use that in, depending on the oil or the plant, you can use it in cooking, because they do have extracts that you use in cooking as well, but not the, I do not, and the persons that have taught me, they do not support the cooking or ingestion of the raw plant extract. Reason being, it's very potent, and you don't know how some people will react. Some people have food allergies, some people have reactions to certain plants, and you don't want anybody to be adversely affected under your supervision. So for that reason, I am not a supporter of ingesting essential oils. The other thing is carbon dioxide extraction. And this method, it uses very high pressure and low temps, and the equipment to do carbon dioxide extractions are very, very expensive. So a small business such as mine, or a small distillery, probably will not use the carbon dioxide extraction, especially if they're a startup, because the equipment is way, way, way expensive. Did I say way enough times? It's way expensive. So another method of extraction is called solvent extraction, and this is where you get your absolutes and your resinoids. And resinoids are basically solids or semi-solid, like barks and trees and bushes. To get the oils out of those, that process is called solvent extraction. And One of the oils that you would think of is sandalwood, or that comes from the bark, or cedar wood. All of those woodsy type um, essential oils, they come from, or they are extracted by solvent extraction. Various distillers around the world choose the method that is best for them, and they basically it goes according to the size of the distillery, the whether it's a startup or it's a distiller that's been in business for years, and whether distribution, they have a distribution channel, or there's a number of things that affect the distillers, and also seasons. Oh my goodness, distillers are affected by seasons, because some plants are seasonal. And I've found with some of my suppliers, sometimes I want to get a particular oil and I can't get it because it's out of season, and then or there's some natural disaster that causes it not to be a good year for that particular production. So I hope you're enjoying this so far, and I'm not chit-chatting too much. I see it's 9:26. No questions yet, but be sure, put them together for me. You can still DM me on Twitter at @ONaturalAroma. I'll be sure to answer your questions there. Or you can follow me on Facebook. Natural Aromatherapy is my Facebook page. And I also at this time want to recognize a few persons for being a part of this event, 24 Live Collective. It's an event put on by a group of wonderful people that I've met online. Some of the persons who have contributed to the event so far includes persons such as Raven, the talk show Maverick. Oh, she was awesome. I enjoyed her talk. And then there was Alfredo. He talked about his church. And also Jen. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed Jen's talk last night. She talked about, hi Eileen, welcome. Jen talked about wines, and oh, did I learn about a lot of wines last night. That was wonderful. Jen is the wine addict. I'm at the hair salon. Oh, you're at the hair salon. Thank you for joining anyway, and thank you for those hearts. I appreciate it. Well, I was just giving a shout out to all the wonderful people who spoke before me, who went on and did their shows. Alfredo, he did the talk about his church out in California, and I think I missed William's show. I don't know exactly what his topic was. William Sales, he's usually a good presenter as well. And I'm looking forward to the others. Evan Taxi is coming up at 11, and also there's a few others that I'm looking forward to seeing later today. But moving right along, just to do a brief recap, we did the history of aromatherapy. I told you some stories about aromatherapy in different countries and how it came about, like India, Greece, Rome, and earlier practices. Thank you, Eileen. The earlier practices of the 14th century, where they burned frankincense and pine in the streets to ward off disease and all those other stuff. And then they used spices and resins were worn on some people's clothing to keep away or combat deadly plagues in some countries. So yeah, they used aromatherapy from way back then. And I wanted to just briefly touch on a bit of chemistry, because in aromatherapy there's a lot of blending. You can find in your house at this very moment there is some sort of fragrance blend that may have been done with some sort of essential oil, or even in your kitchen. So there's a lot of aroma chemistry that goes on in this business. And I gotta admit, confession is good for the soul. When I first got into aromatherapy and saw the amount of chemistry that goes into the various blends and mixes that are out there, I was a little, um, I was a little scared. I was fearful. But then I realized that you don't have to remember every chemical mixture or every chemical formula. So then I was good. But chemistry is not for discussion today. But I gotta tell you, there's a lot of talk about atoms and molecules and, the protons and the electrons in the blending side of aromatherapy. So, with that being said, I want to tell you how you can use these essential oils. Topically is one of the number one ways, and people have been known to place a bit of essential oils either on the crown of their heads or the bottom of their feet for sleep or headaches. They've been known to rub them around the temples for pain or in the forehead. But they don't do it just the raw oil. They always blend it with a carrier oil. Carrier oils can be stuff like oils such as coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, apricot oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil. There's a number of oils that are not pure essential oils that are called base oils. So you have like two different categories. When combined, a carrier oil with an essential oil, you can rub them on your skin, the skin being the largest organ of the body. You can also diffuse these oils. I got a wonderful gift just this week. No, maybe two weeks ago from this company called Organic Aromas. It is a diffuser, but I got a confession. I have not used it yet because it's an electric diffuser and it requires assembly. And I'm not one to go and assemble nothing electric. Especially when it's so delicate, okay? This is one of those delicate products that I can't wait to get it functioning, but I got a little fear because it has these little delicate parts, and I don't want to break them. And then it comes with all the little oil extractors. So you put your oil and you drop it in the little bottom, but there's a lot of assembly to go on with this. It's a beautiful diffuser bottom, right? I can't wait to get it going. But for now, it's gonna stay in the box for a couple more days, okay? I gotta send a big shout out to this company, Organics Aromas, and tell them thank you. Love you from the bottom of my heart. But there's my favorites. I've been using the ceramic diffusers forever and a day. And the reason is that I live alone, so there's no kids running through here. Help you set it up. We can help you set it up. Okay. There's no kids running through here. So these handy dandy ceramic diffusers, they work fine for me in each room. Just get your little tea light candle, tea lights, drop it in there. Now, when you're using these diffusers, and I've had some friends gave me horror stories, and I've had to open my eyes a bit, going, what? Did you do that? Yeah. Because they just drop the oil and they burn the oil in the diffusers just like that. Or they buy these off-the-shelf oils with They call them fragrance oils. They don't know what chemicals in it. They don't know what makeup it is. And they drop it and they burn it in their house. They don't know what they're inhaling. They don't know, A to Z. They don't know. But they burn this stuff in their house. And I just have a fit when I see that. And of course, I swap out their oils. Yes, Eileen, I do that. I swap out their oils. And so here it is. With these diffusers, all you do is you put about 2 tablespoons of water, yes, then about 2 to 3 drops, and these oils last pretty long, okay? You don't need to use a lot because they're very, very strong. They're very, very potent. You put them in the diffuser, light the tea light, set it on a table, and your room smells awesome. Not only does it smell awesome, it's affecting your whole being, mind, body, soul. You're relaxing, you're distressing, okay? Just think you had this terrible day at work and you just come home and light your diffuser. Mind, body, soul affected. Where do we buy the diffusers? At the moment, you can buy the diffusers at Au Natural Aromatherapy /store. I have a wide selection on my website, and diffusers can be found almost anywhere. I'm gonna admit you could find some diffusers in a dollar store, but it's you. It's the person. It's what you want. It's your decor. It's the individual choice. Okay, I'm not gonna push a specific diffuser right now because no, I'm not an affiliate for any at the moment. Tweet me the link. Okay, I will. I am not an affiliate for any. Maybe I should be, but I need to work out an arrangement with Organic Aromas as soon as I figure it out. Right? So yeah, that's a thing to do. But diffusing the essential oils for me is the quickest way to find relief or get some results. And trust me, let me give you a story. I had a relative, a pilot, who swears off traditional medicines. He don't take a pill for anything. So I'm having a dinner one day and he comes by. And this was another aha moment for me in the early days of getting into aromatherapy. I'm having a dinner and he comes, he sits at the dinner table, he eats, but I could see he's not himself, he's not joking, he's not laughing, he's not getting into what we're talking about. And I said, what's the problem? He says, I got a terrible migraine headache. So I said, light bulb goes off. I said, you gotta go into my room, take a nap, relax. So he went, came out about 20-30 minutes later. Okay, thank you so much for stopping in, Eileen. Love you. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the hearts. They food grade. I said earlier that I do not support ingestion of these essential oils because they are very, very potent, but there are some grades that are food grade. So back to my story, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. You can also DM me on my Twitter, Au Natural Aroma, and I'll be sure to answer any questions. So this relative of mine went into the room, took a siesta for about 20-30 minutes, and came back. And he said, what do you have in that room? And I said, well, why? So he said to me, it's because the headache's gone. And I said, there's peppermint and eucalyptus in my diffuser. And he said, wow, that really works. And I was happy to get that result from him, or that testimonial from him. And I will always remember it because it's one of the first testimonials I got. So these oils do work, and they work immediately. Another way to use them is in your bath, right? So I recommend, if, and it's not a male, female thing, whoever you are, if you are you want a relaxing bath and from time to time. Submerge yourself. Use essential oils. And like I said, not straight. I recommend using whole milk, skim milk, almond milk, whatever milk you choose, with about 5 to 10 drops of essential oil. Depending on the purpose, you want to relax. I'm going to use maybe a peppermint and lavender. If you're having cold flu symptoms, I would use a eucalyptus with a peppermint or some other. But when you're using those menthols like a peppermint, you don't go heavy on them because some oils actually burn your skin. So you want to use just 1 to 2 drops. The smell is wonderful. The effect on the mind, body, soul is awesome, and the oils are getting into your bloodstream immediately, having an immediate effect on you. The other thing is, in massages, the same thing. You never use the essential oil straight. You always mix, or you buy them pre-mixed and you rub them on your body. Be sure that when you go to the masseuse, they're doing the same thing. They're using generally accepted practices and using base oil with their massage oil or a pre-mixed massage oil on your skin. And again, be mindful that some oils like peppermint, like cinnamon, are very potent. They can burn the skin. They're warming also. Another way to get the effects of essential oil is in your jewelry, and I do have some of those on my store as well, on my website, Au Natural Aromatherapy /store. You can wear the jewelry that contains the essential oil, and as you go about your day, you're actually breathing it in, because the jewelry has a little hole in it and it holds a little container that has the oil, and you're smelling it as you go along. The other thing about that is the essential oils actually affect various symptoms that you may, or someone you know may be experiencing. Essential oils are good for pain, ADHD and ADD in children or adults. You can treat gastroenteritis, hemorrhoids, coughs and colds, asthma, toothache, insomnia. These are just a few of the things. There's numerous things that you can treat with essential oils. But what I do not recommend is that you totally ignore your doctor's advice. I would use them in conjunction with, or let's say you want to try it for a couple of days, see how it works, and then make a determination. Now, in my practice, I do a lot of fairs and health fairs and what do you call those? Well, corporate events where they have health discussions and what have you. And some of the tools I take with me include my aromatherapy deck of cards. We play games with them. And these are found anywhere online. I haven't started selling them yet, these essential oil cards. And what they do, these here tell you how to blend for yourself at home, right? And this other deck is just a group of fragrances that soothes your mind and heals your body. So it has a bit of history and a bit of details about the oil and how it's used and how it should be used. So they're easy reference cards. And let's take, for instance, patchouli essential oil that I have here on the table. Patchouli uses. Patchouli is usually used for dry skin. Okay, so you can apply it to the feet. You can also, it also treats dandruff, but again, you're mixing it either with your shampoos or your conditioners. You can rub a little on dry skin to heal that skin. And you can also make a natural insect repellent using patchouli. And I want to promote this, especially now with the Zika virus going on. I want to promote the heck out of natural therapies here in the Bahamas. I'm wishing that someone would just hear me out. You don't have to go and buy that off spray all the time. You can put on your lotion every day using a little of lavender or patchouli or, oh my goodness, there's a couple of them that I can name that you can just mix with your lotion, and you'll be guarding yourself against those pesky mosquitoes. Yes, pesky mosquitoes that are causing such havoc right about now. Right, so is there an oil that you would like to know more about? I can pull it from my card. I can tell you about it. Ooh, thank you so much for that tweet, Mama B. I was telling you about jasmine earlier and how expensive it is, and the cost of the jasmine, because the oil is extracted from the petals of the jasmine and the rose flower. Okay, there's the white flowers there. They also make jasmine tea and lavender tea. Oh my goodness, there's so many uses that I did not mention, but you know, that's for another day. The jasmine and rose essential oils are made from or extracted by a means of what do they call it? Cold compress, where is it cold? But it's a compress where they keep they can't distill it because they will destroy it, but the oil comes from the petals, and it's a very sensitive, delicate means of extraction. And the quantity of oil that you get at every extraction is limited compared to others. So in that case, the oil is much more expensive. I had a customer ask me the other day, said to me, I want some rose essential oil, but I want it to smell like the rose that just picked off the tree. And I said, you can get it, but it won't be cheap. And I haven't heard from him since. I quoted the price, 2 mils of rose essential oil. Ready for this? And I always say it's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy the rose essential oil than to buy a dozen roses at Valentine's, because guess what? The essential oil is gonna last longer and the smell is gonna stay with you. It's $100+ for 2 mils, just a little bit. I think my measurements. Okay, this is a 9 mil milliliters. That's 9. So 2 might be about there. Okay, just a little bit. And what can I say? It's really, 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 really good. Okay. So we talked a bit about the oils. You know, lavender is for insomnia. Clove oil is good for toothaches, coughs, and asthma. Bergamot is good for stuff like hemorrhoids and gastroenteritis. Basil and rosemary and vetiver is good for ADHD. Pain, I would use a combination of basil and anica and oh my goodness, there's a couple of pain, peppermint. There's so many others that can be used for pain as well, but those are my top pain relievers. Peppermint, basil, bergamot, clove. Clove, when you get that toothache and you can't get to the dentist like my friend Moon Shadow did once. He said he couldn't get to the dentist on a weekend. So he went to the kitchen. Somebody told him about clove. So he took a clove bud, put it in his mouth, and bit on it. He found some relief. Got to the dentist the next day, and the dentist told him, guess what? That's what's in anesthetic. That's what's in the anesthetic that we would use. And he goes, whoa, it really did work. So I briefly mentioned, moving right along, I got about 10 minutes, I think. I talked about blending briefly. You can blend your own home recipes or treatments. I do it all the time. Right now, I still have a bum knee. I've torn my meniscus and I should be having surgery. But due to the fact that I'm not covered by insurance, I'm treating it myself to relieve the pain and inflammation. So I did a combination. I'm not prepared to share my recipe, but I say this to you. My swelling has gone down. There's less pain, and I'm walking comfortably on the knee. Now, if I do excessive walking or standing, and when I say excessive, I mean go on a walkathon or go to an event and stand up all night or all evening. That don't happen. No, I've got to do better than that, because I know what the consequences will be. I come home and I rub with my mixture of essential oils, and I found great relief. I've not taken the painkillers that my doctor has prescribed. Yes, I'll admit it, I don't take those. And I found great relief in using the essential oils. So I would recommend blending for yourselves with a base oil, then the essential oils in prescribed measurements. You can't just go and throw any oil. No. There comes your chemistry and your knowledge of aromatherapy. Or be sure to visit an aromatherapy practitioner or an aromatherapist for further advice and direction. In summing up, I want to say, in everything you do, you should use caution. There are cautions to use when using essential oils because they are potent, and there are certain categories of persons that we recommend that they use extra caution. Seek the advice of a practitioner when using essential oils on pregnant women, the elderly, and children below the age of 2. Caution, caution, caution. Some oils are warming to the touch, and I do mean warming. You put them on and you feel that heat or burn. So be careful when using those. If you have or need some advice or are interested in learning more about aromatherapy, contact me via my website, which is aromatherapy.com. There is a scheduler, so you can schedule your free 15-minute consultation. Yes, I do those. I love talking to people. I love meeting people. And my gift to you is a free 15-minute consult. I know some persons are interested in cooking with essential oils. I personally do not, but I have a friend who has a grade of oils that will teach you how to cook with those. So don't let my beliefs influence you to the point you don't want to use them, okay? There are a couple of books I'd like to recommend if you'd like to get into essential oils and you want to know more. If you just want a pocket book and you just want to know the ABCs or the 1, 2, 3s about using oils and which oils, I would recommend Using Essential Oils. It's a pretty nice beginner's guide. You can buy this on my website, naturalaromatherapy.com. or just DM me and I'll work it out to get it to you. I'll tell you how you can pay for it. Then this book, I called this my Aromatherapy Bible, and that's the name of the book. I've had this for years. It's a really, really good reference guide. Tells you about the plants, how to use essential oils, what they're good for, a bit of history, and a good guide for using essential oils. And for that person who wants a little bit more than the pocket guide, this book was a gift to me, and I love it. It's a quick read. It's called Essential Oil Guide, simply, and it emphasizes that it's the #1 natural source for weight loss, anti-aging, natural cures, and healthy lifestyle, and it's by Joy Lewis. She's a #1 best-selling author. And there's a free bonus inside. Yeah. Okay. Very easy read. It's only about 118 pages totally. So it's a quick afternoon read. Those are my 3 books that I would recommend. And then for that person who is, the novice, there's this book, the Aromatherapy Workbook, and there's a book by Robert Tisserand that I don't have that I want so bad. Oh my gosh. He's another person I'd love to interview because he's one of the leading aromatherapists or aromatherapy practitioners in the US, and he was one of the persons who brought aromatherapy to the US, and he does these conferences all around the world, and there's a conference coming up in October. I would love to be there, but it's not confirmed yet. So if you'd like to help me in that venture to get to this conference in October, I invite you to go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/ohnaturalaroma, and help me get to the conference. It's the National Aromatherapy Health Association conference that's coming up in October, and I believe it's in Idaho, or I can't even remember the location right now, but that's my goal, to get there in October. Any questions? It's been a wonderful hour. I love being here. I love talking with you. I thank you for the hearts and the interaction, and I thank Beauty Bubble for being that support system behind the scenes, and I thank all of you who are participating in this weekend, this 2-day event, 24 live collective event. I'm loving it. I'm almost tempted to say, can I have another hour on a different platform, because I'd love to see the chat and what's going on. I tried to get on Fire Talk, but that didn't work out. And my show card said Fire Talk, but I couldn't get on. I'm sorry for those persons over in Fire Talk, but I'm loving Busker. I'm loving you over at Busker, and I look forward to another of these events, hopefully in the future. If there's anyone with any questions, or you'd like to know more about aromatherapy, or if there's anything I can assist you with, I invite you to reach out to me. You can email me at pamela@ohnaturalaromatherapy.com. You can find me on Twitter at ohnaturalaroma. You can also find me on Instagram, same name, ohnaturalaroma. I'm also on Facebook, and it's just started a Facebook group all about aromatherapy. It's called Aromatherapy Solutions International, because I don't want anybody to be left out. I'm in the Bahamas, but my reach is worldwide. I'm sure I can be of some assistance to you with your aromatherapy research or questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, even if it's something related to blending With that, I want to say thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please visit my website, and I have a YouTube channel, so that if you didn't see any of my earlier videos, you can see them over on my YouTube channel, O Natural Aromatherapy. And big props to Evan Taxi coming up at 11. He should be on at 11. I'm not exactly certain whether he'll be on Fire Talk, but I believe it's Fire Talk. Evan will be on at 11. And follow the tweets by Beauty Bubble with all of the other events, future speakers on our Friday through Saturday 24-hour collective event. With that, I'm gonna say thank you and bye for now. Pamela saying bye from Nassau in the Bahamas.